And welcome, my friends, to How To Vids. I'm your show host, Melody Johnson, and I'm so glad to see all of you here. This chat is lit up. Let's see, we've got Rome Knows Tech here is in the house. Hey, Rome, what's going on? Rome says hello, everyone. We also got Joanna. We've got Joanna in the house. Welcome, Joanna. I'm so glad that you were able to make it. And of course, we do have a few friends here that are watching. Yeah. So we've started this show we actually started last week, so you're not too far off. We are going to be talking to you each week about some really cool ways in how you can, one, save money, and two, use the products that you already have existing in your home. Joanna says, I'm surviving. How are you? I'm doing great. Rome says hills and valleys. Joanna says every day. And she says, finally. Yes. And I was on time, Joanna, which is something I've been working on. So, what we're doing is each week we're talking about all of these products and just how we can not only maintain our products, but how to care for them really well. If you've noticed on the channel, I've added some new content. We have one that is about how to disassemble and clean a Lasco box fan. So we've went ahead and we uploaded that yesterday, so enjoy today. Let me know, also comment on those videos, because that helps me to learn what kind of content that you like as well. Let's see. Evan says hi, Melody. Hey, Evans, how are you? Actually, Evans gave me some really great ideas yesterday about some content that we're going to be also moving forward. A little bit of an announcement that I'm going to make a little bit later on today. Okay, so Rome says, hey, hello, Mel. Hey, Rome, what's going on? Guys, make sure, if you have not done so already, that you're also following Rome Knows Tech, because he does know tech and he also knows photography really well. So you could also talk to him about that. Hey, we've got Missy in the house. What's going on, Missy? So glad to see you. Yeah, so we've been doing these. I did an announcement on Instagram. I did an announcement on Instagram, but also make sure that you're checking the community tab within YouTube, because I'm really going to be working on focusing most of my content here. Just because it's an easier platform for all of you to access. And also, it's just another great way for me to live stream anytime I want, no restrictions. I can come on here anytime and I can chat with you guys. So, and of course, it's free. All right, let's see who else is here. We've got Margaret. Hey, Margaret, how are you? Margaret says hi, Melody. Hey, Margaret, what's going on? I feel like this is old times when we would all hang out together. I don't know if you guys remember. I know it's been so long, right? So today's live stream, right? Today's live stream is about several ways in which you can keep cool. Now, some of these ways are a little bit excuse me. Some of these ways are a little bit little odd. Yeah. But I started thinking about last year when my air conditioning unit went out, and how it took us almost a week to be able to get some air back. And I don't know if you're going through that, or your air conditioning might be on the brink, but if it is, I'm going to be telling you a few tips that you can use. And they're really affordable ways to keep cool, especially when you're going to sleep at night. Don't know if you guys go through that. You can comment in the chat. Let me know if you sleep cool at night, or if you also get night sweats, because I have gotten that. Let me know in the chat. Hey, it's Alan. Alan says hi, Melody. Alan says hi, Margaret, Joanna, Rome, Evans. And then Joanna says, I spammed everyone yesterday. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Rome Knows Texas. Hey, Alan. Missy says hi, Rome. Evan says hi, Alan, Margaret. Everyone's greeting each other. This is why I love our group. For this very reason, everyone's so kind to each other. Everyone's always so nice. And it's always nice to be able to have a good group of friends to go to if you want to chat, right? It's a safe space we make for everybody. So, okay. So one thing that we did talk about last time. Okay, Evan says, not anymore with my cooling blanket. I'm so glad that you're saying that. Yes. Joanna says, hi, Missy. And Rome says, yes, Joanna told me about this stream. Awesome. Thank you, Joanna. I appreciate it. Thank you to everybody else that has also spread the word. This is something that I will be doing once a week. I feel like once a week is a good balance. It'll give me enough time to plan things out. It'll also give me enough time to gather any kind of props that I might need. But yeah. So I'll be doing this once a week, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So we talked about the discomfort that we get when we're sleeping during those hot summer nights. Sometimes if you go to like a hotel, it may not be like the same air conditioning that you have at home and you're burning up, right? I know I am not the only one this has happened to. Evan says, not anymore with her cooling blanket. And then let's see, Margaret says, my son is a hot sleeper. Yeah, I sweat when I sleep. I think I got everyone here except Missy. Missy was commenting on, I can't remember where, I think it was another video or in the community tab, and I invited her. Yes. So what we've talked about, like I said, is I found some really interesting ways in which you can keep cool in the evenings. And I would love for you to also drop your own ways that you keep cool before you go to bed. One thing that I did read was the importance of cross ventilation, which I believe we talked about that last week. I have a simple box fan, a Lasco fan. I don't know what kind of fans y'all have, but it doesn't matter if it's not a box fan, but if it's a fan, you can do this. You just make sure you have like your window open and then have like your door open to get that ventilation moving. So that way it gives you a cooler environment. So that's one way to be able to keep your room cool so you can sleep at night. Now, if it's hot and humid, and that's not an option, another option that you can do is, of course, your bedding. I don't know if I would do this one. Someone said you can freeze your sheets. I've never heard of this before. Have you guys ever heard of that? Freeze your sheets? I've never done that. But I do know that you can place them in a Ziploc bag, put it in the freezer for a bit, and then you can take it out. And then you could also go ahead and place that on your bed. I don't know if I would wet them. The suggestion was to dampen your sheets just a little bit, put it on a spin cycle, and then put it on your bed. But my whole thing about that, guys, is when you're doing that, the whole thing with mold, like I always thinking about what's one way that I cannot, if it's in a warm environment and it's dark, and it's wet on, especially a mattress, that could happen. So to prevent that, I thought about, okay, if you do want to freeze your sheets, which, to each their own, right? You take a large Ziploc bag and you put your fitted sheet inside of that Ziploc bag. Do not wet it. Don't do that. But put it in the freezer, right? And then put that on your bed. I think that would be okay because it's going to give you that coolness, but it's not going to be moist. Let's see. Joanna says, sounds like pneumonia. Rome says, yes, I know someone who has to do that to their bedding. Yeah, I feel hot, like poor Cleo, he's always got two fans, blowing on him because I get hot so easy. So yeah. Evan says, I wonder what that would do to a cooling blanket. Put it in a Ziploc bag in the freezer. That's actually a great idea. And speaking of a cooling blanket, I actually have one here. This is by Everlasting Comfort. I'm going to try it out tonight. So I got this blanket from them. Thank you, Everlasting Comfort, for the blanket. And this is a cooling blanket. This one says it has a lifetime replacement. So I'm going to check this out, try it out. So it has like a little temperature here. Looks like you can also, it says it keeps you cool. So we're going to try that out. So if you're looking for a good cooling blanket, I don't know if you have the same one, Evans. You can comment in the chat, but I'm going to check this one out. I'll put the link in my description later after this video. But you can do something like what Evans has. She has a cooling blanket that's going to help regulate your temperature. Sometimes those blankets have the bamboo material in it, and that bamboo material helps to lower your body temperature. Missy S says, I have a cooling blanket and I use it often. Yeah, if you have a cooling blanket, that's going to help you to be able to sleep well. I'm going to tell you something really funny. You guys know how much I love the bamboo type of material sheets, right? So like Bedshore. And Bedshore is not a sponsor, just so you know, for this one, but I do like the Bedshore products because I always felt like they're good quality. And I have a pair of their bamboo cooling sheets, and I can feel the difference when I'm about to go to sleep with regular cotton sheets versus the mix of bamboo and cotton sheets. With the regular cotton sheets, I'm tossing and turning, it's hot. With the bamboo / like cotton sheets from Bedshore, those are the ones that help me to remain cool, and I sleep throughout the whole night. And if I do sweat, I'm not feeling sweat on myself. It actually is absorbed quickly in the sheets. So if you can get something like that for yourself, that will work. Let's see. Evans says she does not have that one. Evans, sometimes if you have well, I want you to try that. I think that would actually be a pretty cool idea if you can go ahead and try that sheet. Yeah, let me know how that works. That might work well. Here's another fun fact on what you can do. You can go ahead and get a little Ziploc bag, and this, you can make this moist. You can moisten up a washcloth. You can pop that in the freezer, and check this out. Put it in certain points, like the inside of your elbows, the inside of your wrist, the nape of your neck. That's supposed to help you to be able to cool your body down faster at those points. I didn't know that. Just a little something I found, a little a tip. So if you're burning up and you're like, the fan ain't working, the air conditioning isn't working, this is just another method that you can use. And this is something anyone could do. You just use a Ziploc bag and you're using a washcloth. Yeah. I don't know if y'all ever tried that. That's one method to keep your room, to keep you cool at night to sleep well. So you could do well with doing that with your sheets and then doing this. if you're really desperate, you can do that. All right. There was another one, and I thought this was interesting. I don't know if I could do this one though. Y'all tell me in the chat if you could do this. This is if you were to take your socks and put them in the freezer. You take your socks and you put them in the freezer, and then you put them on before you go to sleep. I don't know. You tell me in the chat. Evan says, I have some jumbo freezer Ziploc bags. I will give it a try. That actually sounds pretty cool. I want to know how that turns out. Yeah, let me know how that turns out. And I was thinking to myself, what if we were to do the sock one? Would it be too much? Like, I haven't tried this one yet. I did try the washcloth one. That one does work with the pressure points. But for me, I felt like I needed like 3 washcloths. And I just kept them like on 3 different places. I had one on like each elbow and one on my neck. And I was like, I got to try to cool down. So you could use it for that purpose too, if it's trying to also help you to kind of settle down and go to sleep. Margaret says she's going to try it too. So yeah, this is another method. You could try that, the sock method with your son, see if that one works. And of course, like I always told you from last week, if you can get curtains that have the blackout curtains that have the lining in the inside, that's very helpful because that keeps your space a lot cooler. This whole week, I've had these particular curtains and it has not felt as hot as it did the week prior when I had the light curtains up. And the interesting thing about this, check this out. Those light curtains still were blackout, but they were still letting a lot of sunlight in. So my space was feeling a lot hotter. And then it makes it even hotter because I have lights on around here. Margaret says, I love all the hacks. You got to do what you got to do, Margaret. Especially if you're feeling hot, you're trying to go to sleep. You'll try it just about anything, right? Joanna says, my hot flashes are typically with movements during the day. Yes. So that was another thing I was reading up during the day. Try not to get too much exposure to sun. So you got to have a balance, right? Maybe 10, 15 minutes here, but if you're going to be out there for hours, expect that you may feel a bit of discomfort, during the day. Oh, excuse me, during the evening. And the experts that I've seen also said not to consume alcoholic beverages before you go to bed. I'm sure y'all don't have a problem with that, but that is what the experts said, as that can it can swell up it says something about swelling up your vessels, and then that makes it to where you're more active and you don't want to sleep that well. Okay. Fun fact, right? Evan says, I love my blackout curtains. I agree with you. They are the bomb. It's kept my corner cool. I paid $20 for these curtains right behind me. So yeah, it's not gonna break the bank, I'm looking for hacks that are helping y'all to not only save time but also save money. So you know how I feel about that. It's always been a concern for me for that for you guys. All right, so we talked about the cross ventilation with the fans. We talked about having a great bedding, right? If you gotta throw your sheets out, come on, y'all. If you got them stained sheets and you're like, I don't want to let go of that, switch them out for some bamboo sheets. They're fabulous to use. That's gonna keep you a lot cooler, and you're gonna thank me later. You're gonna say, man, I should have got these sheets a long time ago. And then, of course, you've got that pillow. Now, this pillow that I'm going to show you is a pillow by Everlasting Comfort. And I actually got this pillow this past week. And I'm going to say I'm very, very impressed. I'm going to do a video on this for you guys, but this one actually comes with extra filling. When you first get the pillow, it's going to seem like kind of floppy, but if you give it like 24, 48 hours, it's going to plump up. But I'm going to tell you right now, try it without the extra filling. They give you extra filling for this pillow, and it does give you the ability to also take the case off so you can wash the case. Remember, pillows like this, you cannot wash straight up in the wash machine. You can only wash the pillowcase itself, but the pillowcase is made out of bamboo, and that's going to keep you cool so you're not sweating around your neck, and also so it always feels like it's that cool feeling. So that's also going to help with giving you additional ventilation and breathing on that material. So that's why I like that. Let's see. Alan says, I dream of owning an underground house someday to stay cool. That's actually a great idea. And you know what? I did see something on TV a long time ago. I always watch these travel shows to see what people do. But there's a place in Australia that's actually a cave. Let me see if I can find this. It's a place. It's really bizarre type of name. It's like, hold on, cave house in cave house in Australia. It's called Coober something in Australia. Coober Petty is what it's called. Coober Petty. All right, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to show you a little picture. Coober Petty. And it looks like a mining place, right? Looks kind of like a mining place. And I heard that it's so cool down there. You don't need like any kind of air conditioning because it goes down, pretty far. So helps you with air conditioning. I don't know if you're able to go to a place like that, but definitely it says Coober Petty. I think, here it is. It says that it's built into caves, hills, and old mine shafts. That's what it was, old mine shafts. Stay a pleasant 23 degrees. So it's 73 degrees all year round. Guys, that's the perfect temperature. You don't ever have to worry about sweating up a storm when you're doing that. Alice has got to get back to work. Keep rocking your stream. Oh, I'm going to miss you, Alan. I'll see you later, okay? And then Missy says, bye, Alan. Have a great day. Joanna says, be safe, Alan. Yeah, sure thing. Margaret says, have a great one, Alan. So Cooper Petty is the name of that cave. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But you know what's crazy? When I was watching this show, that place Cooper Petty had a massive amount of flies. I don't know why. I'm gonna find that out later, but I'm gonna stay focused on this. But I don't know why. You feel free to enter that into your Google search and ask it why it has so many flies. I don't know why. Anyway, so you got your cross ventilation, you've got your bedding. We talked about a cool pillow that you could use. So that's going to prevent the sweating and you can sleep comfortably. You're not having to continuously flip your pillow, right? And then we talked about the washcloth trick. You know, you got to make sure you're putting that on your pressure points, right? So you can stay cool. And then we talked about the sock trick, right? You freeze your socks. And let's see, Evans is going to freeze her blanket. She's going to let us know how that works. And then you have the option, of course, freezing a water bottle. I don't know about this one. I'm on the fence about this. Evan says, okay, Melody, my cooling blanket is in the freezer. Yeah, you got to let me know how that one works. I'm actually really fascinated about that one. So this one is freezing a water bottle, and then these experts recommended putting the water bottle in your bed. I don't know about that because I'm feeling like I don't want the sheets to get wet, right? But I'm wondering if you put it in a Ziploc bag. I know I have Ziploc bags for everything. You put it in a Ziploc bag and you put it in your bed, maybe that will help you. Yeah, that might help you. So that's another option. And of course, keeping your blinds shut, which we talked about with the blackout curtains. That's going to help maintain and keep your area cool throughout the day. I do this often. You know what I also do, guys, is I turn the lights off in my house and I just keep like one main light on. Sometimes it's one over my stove and one in the hallway. That's it. I don't even turn on the lights in my living room or in the dining room, only because it gets hot when you turn those lights on. So that's one thing that I do with staying cool. I have the light on now because I'm live streaming for you. But when the live stream is over, that light gets turned off. And then I have my main lights like right here in the front that I work with. All right, so you have that. And then we talked about freezing your bed sheet. If you've got a fitted bed sheet, there was 2 ways that was recommended. The first one I would go with taking the fitted sheet, putting that in the freezer, and then putting that on your bed right before you go to sleep. And then you lay down and go to sleep. And then the second method was they said, get it slightly moist, pop it in the freezer, and then put it in your bed. But I don't like the second one because I'm afraid with the whole mold thing. I don't want your mattress to get moldy. So maybe the first one. Evan says, I hope no one opens the freezer and sees clothes in the freezer. They think I'm lost. But listen, you're doing this to get a good night's rest. You need to be able to come up with some creative ways if the air conditioning is not working, if the fan is not good enough. But the bedding is a key thing. I will say that. And I know this for a fact. I've tried out twice. I have a comforter by Bedshore. Again, this is not sponsored by Bedshore. I just love their stuff. But I have a comforter by Bedshore. And then I have this generic one that I bought a few years prior. So I pulled the Bedshore blanket off because it needed to be washed. And I put this generic blanket on, which felt lightweight, felt like it would be fine. But it's not made out of bamboo. It's just made out of straight filling and then cotton. And honey, I was sweating and it felt like hot flashes in the evenings past few weeks. I took that thing off the bed today and I placed the Bedshore one on. The Bedshore one is perfect because that one absorbs so much sweat and it also keeps you cool. So that's something I definitely would recommend you swap out. Let's see. Margaret says, I have the cooling blanket that has 2 sides. One side is warm. I'm not sure if it's good if I put it in the freezer. If you put it in a Ziploc bag, That's how you'll figure it out. But I think I know which one you're talking about. I think that's the one that I had, Margaret, right? Where it's blue. It's blue, and then one side is like shiny, and then the other side is not as shiny. The other side you use when you want to stay warm, and then the other side you use when you want to stay cool. That one has, I think, the Japanese cooling technology for that blanket, and that does keep you cool. And it's wild because it's so lightweight. You would think it's probably going to be too hot, and it doesn't. Okay, yeah, that's the same one. Okay, I figured it was that one, and that one does keep you cool. So yeah, so we were so those are my tips. Those are all of the hacks that I could come up with to show you. And of course, keeping water by your bed, which I do this I've been doing this for, I want to say, a few months now. Now, the only downside to this is you may have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, but if it gets too hot, I usually keep like a bottle of water near my bed with like ice. I make sure it's in one of these little tins so that way it keeps the water really cold. So that way all I have to do is just wake up, I take a sip, and then I go back to sleep. But that does keep me cool. Okay, so good. Margaret has the same blanket that I had a few months ago that I had gotten. And Joanna says, I need to do the water thing. The water thing does work for me because I get parched. Also, I get dehydrated during the evenings, especially if I forget during the day to drink water. I'll get really thirsty in the evening. So that's why I have it by the bed. But I also do another hack, guys. When I wake up in the morning, I do like a prayer and like a gratitude thing. And then when I get up, I have to drink 8 ounces of water, right? Studies have shown this is great for like being able to help balance out any kind of like weight. And it also helps you to start your day off right. But it's like a jump start to your metabolism. That's like a little hack I learned. So I drink this water as soon as I wake up. That's the first thing you do before you hit up the coffee machine. I know, before you hit the coffee machine, you drink a glass of water, and then you wait 20 minutes, and then you start to go ahead and you can consume or eat whatever it is you want. Joanna says, I'm supposed to drink a lot. Okay. So then that's a good idea to keep the water bottle by your bed so that way you can, get the water you need. And then Evan says, I always take my water bottle to the bedroom. I do the same thing. And I keep this with me at my desk during the day. And I'm going to tell you why. I had a skinnier one, but what kept happening was sometimes I would forget to refill it. So when I have a big one like this, I know once I reach the end, that's it. Like, I'm good for the rest of the day for my water intake. So I just fill this one up. I think this one is, I want to say this is 60 ounces. I feel like this is between like maybe 50 to 60 ounces of water, which is about a gallon, which is a good amount. And I drink it throughout the whole day. I don't sit there and be like, chug, chug, chug. I'm not doing the chug game. I just take a few sips here and there to be able to do it. And I have to set an alarm so that way I can drink the water so I don't forget. So that's why I have that. And then I've been I don't drink as much coffee as I used to. I cut back on that, and I noticed that I was getting like these weird migraines. So every once in a while, if I do want some caffeine, I've been drinking these, and it's called Celsius Tropical Vibe, and it actually tastes really good. This one is a sparkling starfruit pineapple edition one, which seems to be really like challenging to find, but I ordered this off of Amazon. And I like the way these taste. So I've been incorporating that. I have one a day, and that's good. That helps me with the caffeine intake, because that does contain, I think that contains caffeine. I'll tell you in a second. I believe it does. Give me a second. It's zero sugar. But I don't see the caffeine. They have water bottles that light up on the bottom to remind you it's time to drink. That sounds awesome. That's something I need, Evans. Missy says that sounds good. This is good, Missy. It tastes delicious. So I don't normally have this in the morning, but I didn't drink coffee, and coffee does something to me, like with my stomach. So I've been steering away from that. So I usually have this, and y'all gonna laugh. I usually wait about 1 o'clock to have one of these, because by that time I'm tapped out. I do most of my work in the morning to be able to focus. And then usually like when 1 o'clock hits, I'm starting to go downhill. So I usually take one of these, or I have a very, very small cup of coffee or a cup of tea with caffeine to help to kind of pop it up. The water bottle idea, that's actually a great idea with the light up, because you're going to be looking like, why is this lighting up? And then remembering, hey, I gotta drink some water. Now, yeah, so definitely making sure that you have a bottle of water near your bed is good. And then, okay, remember, jump starting your day, drinking that water in the morning, waiting 20 to 30 minutes prior to drinking anything else, that helps to jumpstart your metabolism. So, yeah, so that's the small hack that I've been doing. But with this channel only, we're going to focus just on products, right? And the reason why I'm trying to maintain that separation with other things that I want to tell you about is because I don't want my channel to look crazy. I want you to be able to find things easy. And so these kind of hacks, like for the products, you'll find on this channel. But me and Evans were talking last week, and I started thinking, hold on, let me move back to my notes. See, Evans, I take notes. I still have my trusty notebook with me. We were talking, and she was just saying how maybe we could do some sort of group, like before we left the big A. I was thinking about doing a accountability group. It's more of like a group that I'm just going to share some of my recipes. I'm sharing walking reviews. Yes. So I'm going to be reviewing walking videos. These are also suggestions that you guys will give to me, and I'm going to test it out. And I thought of a tier, Evans, when we were talking. So we have 4 tiers, right? It's going to be infant, beginner, intermediate, advanced, and crazy. So we have 5 levels, and I'll explain to you those more in depth. But what I wanted to do was to be able to create a space so that way, one, we could all be healthy, right? And some of us really want to lose weight, but we don't want to like have to go to the gym. I don't care about going to the gym too much because I don't want to deal with other people, music. I've had people bring their kids to the gym, and when I go to the gym, I don't want that. I'm sorry. I love kids. I do. But when I go to the gym, that's like my own time. So yeah. So that's one of the reasons why. And also, it's a cost-saving method. Like, we don't have to pay someone for us to do something simple that we can do for free. So I'm testing these workouts out. I'm letting you know what they range between, and then you can use them for yourself and check it out. Yeah, exactly. Going to the gym is your me time, Joanna. You are 100% right. You don't want to have to deal with other people, like the grunting you'll hear people are doing, like in the gym when they're hitting the weights, or someone playing something, or the weirdest thing. Wait. And I know I'm not the only one. I have this thing, guys. You tell me if you go through this too. I have a space boundary. And the space boundary could be something like, if you know, here I go with my illustrations. I'm about to tell you something funny. Okay, if you have a treadmill, right? You have a treadmill here. Yeah, let's say we got 4 treadmills, right? We got 4 treadmills. I'm going to do this in a different color so y'all see me. And you see that I am here, right? Let's say we got the treadmills, right? You see that I'm here. Don't pick this and don't pick this one. You should be picking this one right here. There needs to be some space. This is especially if the gym is totally empty. Why do you pick the one next to that person? I don't know. I don't know. I've done that in cafes too. I guess there's something about me that people like, but it is to me the weirdest feeling and the most bizarre thing to just pick the table right next to me. Like, I don't want you near me right now. I don't know you. Unless it's y'all, then that's different. Okay. Evans is getting to the point. People are not cleaning the equipment when they are done. I've seen people do that, where they'll sweat, push the buttons, and then they walk to the next machine. And I'm like, that's so gross. Now, I will say, I have tried what's that gym? It's purple and yellow fitness, Planet Fitness. They're pretty hygienic. Like, they have the bottles everywhere. You can go to any station and it has a little spray bottle and it has a paper towel. You spray it. It takes like 2 minutes, right? To spray down something, wipe it down, and then go to the next machine. Sometimes you won't see people doing that, and it's the grossest thing, especially if you've got to do like a cycle, like maybe you're cycling between 3 machines, you'll see people cycling, but you won't see people sanitizing. Joanna says you're approachable. I try to be. Thank you. Margaret says, yep, I went to the gym when I dropped my kids at school. Now I'm just stay at home. No gym for me on summer break. I get it. Yeah, I totally understand. Joanna says, I've had a membership there. I've tried to sign up for a membership there. I think it was like 6 months ago. And they made the process, I guess they tried to make it more smooth, but the process seemed way more complex for me, and I just gave up. No, that was a year before. Margaret says, I always wipe before and after. I appreciate you. Something else that people could do is, if they know they're going to hit up a machine, you could just grab it, spray, and then keep it with you, and then wipe it down and go to the next machine. Yeah, but I guess people don't, they think that's too much. Joanna says, I like their 30-minute section. Me too. And that was one of the reasons why I liked it, because it hit up all parts of the body, and you could do a rotation. That was one of the reasons why I love Planet Fitness. But I also love Planet Fitness because you didn't have to deal with the people that did hit the weights. If people got too aggressive, like, an actual alarm will go off in that area. If someone drops weight, starts grunting loud, it's very standoffish. I've been in gyms like that where people have done that. In fact, I have a story for you. Don't know if I told you this story, but this was like when I was in my 20s. Me and Cleo signed up for this local gym. And there's this guy that used to attend this gym every day. Oh my gosh. One day, these kids were having a ball with him, a bunch of high school people, and he would make this sound. Joanna, this is funny, I've heard it. He'd go, da, 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 da. And this is when he is trying to curl. I'm saying to myself, if this thing is that heavy and you're making that sound, maybe you should scale back on the weights. But no, he wanted to keep them up. And so what was happening was, I guess the high schoolers were getting tired of hearing him, and they would make fun of him where he couldn't see. He knew somebody was doing the same sound as him, and he was screaming out, who's saying this, right? And then you just see the kids like lifting weights, and they're just talking to each other. I know it's coming from them because I seen one of the guys would go like, shh. So this guy flipped out. I guess he was having a roid rage moment, and the owner had to ask him to leave because he was getting upset that someone was teasing him and not like stopping. It was one point where he even tried to trick the kids, and he was about to crawl, and then he looks around at the and they weren't doing anything. This is the funniest thing ever. And then after that event happened, like, I never seen him again. I don't know if he decided to go to another gym, or maybe he just decided to take a break. Maybe that owner told him that he needs to chill for a minute. That was funny. Marcus's face blue smiling. Evans is cracking up. And Joanna's hand orange, covering eyes. Yeah, that was hilarious. The kids were, it was three teenage kids. I'll never forget it. And I know, like, one of them, I don't know which one of them were doing it, but it was one in that group that was doing it. And they were all like laughing. And then they would just go back to doing their reps. They'd be like, they wouldn't be laughing or anything. They were like, yeah, yeah, keep going, guys. And then and then they would like start teasing him once he's starting to curl. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's one of the things you don't have to deal with if you do choose to go to Planet Fitness. But like I said before, I'm not gonna deal with that. I'm gonna just kind of look at some of these different workouts, and I'm just gonna try them out. You know, switching it up, so that way the boredom factor doesn't occur. That's to me the most important thing, to keep things interesting, so you can keep doing it. So I mentioned that there's 5 stages, right? The infant stage is when you are absolutely beginner. That's like me right now. Where maybe you can only walk like 5 or 10 minutes without, losing your, you have to catch your breath. For me, I think that's important because some of these workouts will say beginner, and holy cannoli, it's like, that's not beginner. That's like, we're going into advanced. But everybody has a different threshold, and everybody has a different, I say, exercise level. But for me, I felt like telling you, hey, if you want to use this workout, it's free and accessible. This one is infant mode. Like, this is good if you're really, really starting out. So that's what I'm going to be doing. For my other channel, it's not ready yet. I've had this channel for a while. It talks more about having a positive mindset, and I have some meditations that I also have on there, but I'm going to turn it into more of a fitness. It's going to be more of like a fitness vlog for myself, so that way you guys can get the benefit. So I'll be testing out these different things. That's where you'll see the meal planning that I'll do once a week. So you'll see a meal plan and you'll see a review. Don't know if I'm going to combine the two. I may separate it. You guys let me know in the chat if what you think about that. But I thought it would be nice if we could share these resources, and then we could also keep track and be accountable. You don't have to do it, but if you want to watch and come along on the journey, you girls are more than welcome to do it. Yeah. So that's that was the announcement. Yeah. So yeah, I've been thinking about doing it for a while. Something I wanted to do when we were back doing the big A. And I was doing the AI generated meal planning. I don't know if you remember, we did the AI generated meal planning. I'm going to do that again. So yeah, just let me know what you think. I thought it'd be pretty fun. We could do that on here on the YouTube channel. Not this one. It's going to be a new one, and I'll link it in my community tab. It might be there. Hold on. Let's see. It might be there. I don't know if it's let's see. Yeah, it might be there already. But what I'll do is I will definitely let you know. So Margaret says, yes, let's go. Okay, great, Margaret. And then Joanna says, you are getting AI recipes. Yes. And so what I want to do is I want to create really cheap meals that we could stretch throughout the whole week. I don't want anything expensive. And it's because, one, I have a budget, right? And I know lots of other people have a budget too. And also to show you, you don't have to have a ton of money to be healthy, to lose weight, and to stay fit. And what I mean by lose weight, guys, I'm not talking about, supermodel, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about being healthy at where you feel comfortable, where you feel comfortable with your body. So I'm not a health expert, but I'll be looking up things and I'll share with you everything. Um, let's see. Joanna says there's like 4 or 5 going now needed. What do you mean 4 or 5 going now? What's that? You mean 4 or 5 recipes that you do? 4 or 5 workouts? Let me know. So the one that I have, and I'm gonna show you in a second. Hold on, let me grab this book. I did this before. I'm gonna show you something. I did this workout. Well, this eating way, this diet plan before. I've done this, right? And this is legit. I was able to burn a ton of pounds. I actually lost like 50 pounds one summer doing this very book. And it's about this guy. His name is Abel James, right? And a long time ago, there used to be a show. I don't know if you guys remember The Biggest Loser on TV. It was like a weight loss show. People went on this show to lose weight. They would lose massive amounts of weight, had these challenges. And if they met the challenge expectation, they'd go on to the next stage. Well, part of that was being able to pick a weight loss coach. And I would have totally went with him. He was like, if you like to eat like bacon, or you like to eat dark chocolate and have desserts for, your eating plan, he was like, this is what I provide. I was like, what? I was like, dessert. And then, Joanne said needed AI chatbots. Okay. Yeah, I know. There's like a ton of AI bots. And I'm going to touch on that. I'm just going to use what we used before. We'll use Bard. Probably going to use Microsoft, as they're great. They have like an AI bot too. And we'll see how that one works as well. And then Missy says, yes, I remember that show. That show was so interesting. I believe it was like every Sunday or Monday it used to come on. But that used to inspire me to work out. And I've talked to many a person that's a fitness expert, and they all tell me the same thing. It's all 90% of weight loss occurs when you have a meal plan in place, and it also occurs when you're eating the right foods. So I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to not put the pressures on myself like I was doing before. And I'm just going to kind of record my journey so you guys can see that you're not the only one going through maybe a certain challenge, or how we can overcome certain challenges when we get to like 1, eating out, right? Or 2, if you're going to a barbecue and you're like, holy cow, what can I eat here? These are the kind of challenges that we can overcome. So I'll be making content on that soon. And I'll let you know when that channel is ready. I got to do like the banner and everything for it. But once it's ready, up and ready, when we're doing one of these streams, I'll drop the link in the comments, and then you can go ahead and join us. Yeah. Missy says, I remember that show. That show was good. Joanna says, needed meal plans. Yeah, me too. I think that can be the hardest thing, the planning out, because you get so used to just on the fly. What do you want to eat today? I don't know. What do you want to eat? And then you're eating stuff that you really shouldn't be eating. Maybe you want to not eat that Chick-fil-A, even though their fries are so good. Maybe you want to not eat that KFC chicken sandwich, even though that chicken sandwich is so good. You know what I'm saying? So the meal planning, that's going to help prevent the binge eating from not occurring, because you've planned out the food, you know when to expect the food, and then you don't go on this eating binge. And then Missy says, me too. I need fresh ideas. I got you. So this is what we'll do. I'm probably gonna, let's look at the calendar Probably going to start that. It's probably, I'm already working on the channel, and I'm working on the content for the channel. So as soon as that's ready, I want to say within the next week or so, I'll go ahead and I'll announce it on this channel. Yeah, so that was the announcement, guys. You let me know in the comments if there's additional things that you'd like to see with that too. Yeah, just let me know. But this does taste good, like I told you before. Let me see, it does taste good. All right, so guys, we're winding down to the end of our live stream. I do want to thank each and every one of you for coming to today's show. So grateful that you were able to come on. I had a great time with you. Talked about all the hacks needed to have a great night's rest, and of course, fun things that you find in the gym. You got one of a story time session in, and of course, some ideas that we'll have for our next future shows. So thank you for tuning in. Again, you'll see me on Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that'll be once a week. You'll see me. We start on time. We pretty much end on time. And of course, if you've got any ideas for me, feel free to DM me, and we will place that in our next show. Margaret says, have a great day, Mel. Thank you so much. So building flag, glad to see you. Thank you so much, Joanna, for coming. Evan says, thank you, Melody. Have a great day. Margaret says, face red, heart shape. Thank you, Margaret. Missy says, thanks. Enjoy your day all. Joanna says, thanks. Thank you guys for tuning in. And of course, I will see you next week. Take care.